In the year 1619, two things happened on this ground. They happened within weeks of each other. They were connected by the same governor, the same colony, the same half-mile of riverbank.
One of them is the reason America has Congress today.
The other is the reason America is still reckoning with itself today.
470 years later, both stories still start right here. 3 places, 1 story, the birth of America.
USA 250. When we left Jamestown at the end of our last video, the colony had survived the starving time. Barely.
60 survivors. One ship appeared on the river at the exact right moment. Lord Delaware arriving just in time to turn the fleeing colonists around and bring them back to this shore.
By 1619, Jamestown had stabilized, not thrived. The population had grown back to roughly 900 people, scattered across several settlements along the James River.
We are now headed to the church that held some of the most notable funerals and weddings. I'm standing in the church where Pocahontas and John Rolfe actually got married. Pocahontas was a young Native American who was kidnapped by the settlers in 1613. Rolfe, the same man who married Pocahontas, had spent years experimenting with a milder strain of tobacco leaf that the English market would actually buy. By 1617, Virginia was exporting tobacco. By 1619, it was the only thing the colony ran on.
And tobacco required labor, enormous amounts of labor. That fact is not incidental to what happens in 1619.
In 1618, the Virginia Company, back in London, issued a new set of instructions to the colony, a complete restructuring of how Virginia would be governed.
Out went the military rule, in came something that had never existed in the English-speaking New World before.
Representative government.
In the summer of 1619, the new governor, Sir George Yardley, issued a call to every settlement along the James River.
Elect 2 representatives, send them to Jamestown. 11 settlements responded. 22 men made the journey.
On July 30th, 1619, those 22 men, together with Governor Yardley and his council, gathered in the choir of the wooden church at Jamestown. 22 men crammed into a wooden church in a Virginia swamp in the middle of July, one of them dying before it was over.
And in 5 days, they changed the course of Western democracy.
The first General Assembly of Virginia lasted 5 days, and in those 5 days, those 22 men established something that continues to this day.
They created laws governing the tobacco trade. They regulated relations with the Powhatan people. They established the Church of England as the official Church of Virginia. They addressed gambling, swearing, idleness.
And they did something that mattered far more than any single law they passed.
They established the principle that the people living in Virginia had the right to participate in their own governments.
Consent of the governed.
Not as an abstract idea, as an actual meeting in an actual building with actual elected representatives who could debate, vote, and send laws back to London for approval.
The Virginia General Assembly has met continuously from that July, 1619, to today. It is the oldest continuous lawmaking body in the Western Hemisphere, and now they assemble in Richmond.
George Washington served in it. Thomas Jefferson, Patrick Henry, the men who wrote the Declaration of Independence, learned self-government in the institution that was born in Jamestown. And then, 3 weeks later, something arrived on the James that would cast a shadow over everything.
John Rolfe, the same John Rolfe who documented the first assembly, wrote a letter that same year to Sir Edwin Sandys in London.
In it, he described the ship that arrived at Point Comfort, the southern tip of Virginia Peninsula, in late August of 1619. So the map behind us tells us how slaves ended up in Virginia. It was a Portuguese slave ship headed for the Gulf of Mexico when there it encountered English privateers, who then subsequently took those slaves from the Portuguese slave ship and brought them to Jamestown.
In 2026, as America marks 250 years, the honest account of 1619 is not that it undermines the founding, it's that it helped explains it.
The greatness of American democracy and the tragedy of American slavery were not opposites. They were born together on this island. We have covered 1607, 1609, 1619. 3 summers on the island that every thread of what America becomes is already visible in these 3 stories.
In our next video, we move 50 miles up the road to a place that took everything Jamestown started, the tobacco economy, the representative government, the tensions, and built it into something more formal, more deliberate, more powerful.
Colonial Williamsburg, where the ideas that became the Declaration of Independence were tested, argued, and refined.